All right, so it's a dream come true. She's always had the aptitude for drawing and painting, I'm told. So it's not a surprise that our next guest decided to become an architect, living her dreams. With me now is Nikhall Chin. Good morning, Nikhall. How are you?
Good morning, Neville. How are you?
I am
I'm fine.
I'm very well, give thanks. Great to see you. Um, who is an architect? What an architect do?
Well, I think an architect definitely is someone who is the trusted advisor of a client, someone that designs at both has a technical and a design background. It You're multifaceted. You wear many roles. You're a problem solver. Of above all things, a problem solver.
Design what?
Well, many things. There are many typologies. For me, I've gotten into doing high-rise buildings, airports, a bit of commercial buildings, single-family homes. So there are many things you can design as an architect.
Yep. All right. So I want to build a home in a very serious way. I call you and I say, design the home. I mean, where you start? What you think of? I mean, how you design a home? You have a roof, you have two doors. How do you design a home?
Well, I think definitely you have to start with understanding the person and how the person lives and how they move through a space, how they understand a space. I think as an architect, you have to become that person's trusted advisor. They have to trust you. They have to trust the decisions that you make. And you have to be able to ask them the right questions. I think that's the key to everything. Asking the right questions. For instance, doing space planning with someone, you'd want to ask them how they typically use a space, perhaps how they move through a space, things like that. And then those answers that you get will help you to generate the right type of building that will work well for that person in particular, because you're not designing for yourself, you're designing for them. So the space is theirs ultimately.
Yeah. Where did this come from? In preparing for this, it says an aptitude for drawing and an early fascination with how objects are put together. What does that mean? Where did that come from in the first place? Why did you want to be an architect in the first place?
Okay. For me, it's kind of a funny story. It started for me when I was in fourth form. They kind of streamline you and put you in particular classes they think you'll do well at. In my case, they put me in the bright, quote unquote, bright class, and they decided they would choose my subjects for me. They chose a bit of the arts, a bit of the sciences, and they chose a business class, and they chose accounts for me. And I failed that class. Fail. I did so horribly in accounts that the school decided that no, this girl can't stay here. We have to put her to do something else. So they pushed me into what the not so bright students tend to do, which is like home ec, art, etc. So they put me in the art class, and that became my favorite class. I really loved drawing from the start, and I decided I wanted to do that for the rest of my life. So because of that, I said, I think architecture is a good fit for me because I really do love drawing, and I want to do this for the rest of my life. So I decided I would do architecture.
You had a plan B?
Um, if I had a plan B, no. I knew architecture was it. This is what I wanted to do.
Fantastic.
Wanted to draw.
Yeah, I'm reading here again. Nikhall has managed projects from schematic design through construction administration in the US, the Caribbean, India, and Malaysia. She has over 20 years of experience that includes transportation, which is where I'm going to ask you about, high-rise residential, hospitality, education, and healthcare projects. What do you mean by transportation? What area were you in that?
Well, I spent quite a bit of time doing airport projects. I worked about 4 years on Miami Airport and 2 years on Mumbai Airport. The Mumbai Airport, that project was definitely that was a great experience for me. I enjoyed that very much. We spent a lot of time doing a lot of detailing, and it was a good experience. So transportation in my case was airport project. So airport aviation architecture is what I did.
Okay. You can't get them things wrong?
You can't. The thing is that when you build something, that's it. It's permanent. There's
No,
no
no,
undo
yeah,
button.
but I
So
understand that. But have you ever had to do over something, which is what I mean? Say if I get something wrong and you say, no, no, we have to do this again. Never, that ever happened or no?
yes, yeah, that happens. It happens. The thing is that later on in the process, is the more expensive it is to change a mistake
Right.
because things become more solidified. Schematic is when you're kind of planning out a project, thinking, putting spaces together. Then you go to design development, then you go to full construction documents, and then construction administration. So as you get further into the process, you want to try and get things right from the start because there's no undo button.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
man.
it.
I mean, I've spoken to artists, I've spoken to people, women in construction, I've spoken to women in areas that people say it's a man's world. What about architecture? Is this a man's world or anyone?
Oh my goodness. It is 100% still very much a man's world. I mean, women will walk a job site and people will see them on the site and they will automatically assume that you are not an architect or much less the architect for the project. People don't assume that. A funny story about that is a volunteer taught at a prison in the Cayman Islands for 2 years. And one of the prisoners there, he was in shock and in awe that I was an actual architect. And he said, I cannot believe they let women have jobs like this. No.
Well, what can I say about that gentleman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he might have been there for quite some time.
Yeah.
So, no.
I'm happy you said it and not me. I know you were here recently enough, but want to say hi to anyone before you go?
My mother, my brother, and my sister, to say hi to them and the rest of my family.
Yeah.
That's it.
Where's the family from?
Mandeville. I'm a Mandeville girl.
Okay.
A cool Mandeville, as everybody always says.
Yeah. How is Florida? Cool, cool. Because I know hurricane every minute something run past.
It's cool, but for me, there's no place like home.
Yeah.
I'm 100% a Jamaican. I tell people that off the bat when I'm introduced to people, I say I'm Jamaican.
Which is the
First
reason.
and
Which is the
foremost.
reason you live in Florida, right? Anyway, good. Great to see you. Continue to do what you do, and I'm impressed with what you have done and continue to do. Really,
Thank you.
really, really outstanding work. And when you come in,
Thank you.
you give us a hail. All right?
All right.
Yeah, man.
Thank you
Architect.
so much.
Yeah, man. It's our
Okay.
pleasure. Nikhall
All
Chin.
right.
All right.
Bye-bye.